review. So today I'm not reviewing any movie. Instead, I will be explaining movie rating systems. Let's do this. Now before we start, I have to say, all movies are subjective. All that this means is that if I love a movie, that's just my opinion on that movie. That's not right or wrong. That just means that I like this movie, and you might hate it, you might love it, who knows. There's no right or wrong in movies. We have to get that out of the way first and foremost. So with that being said, movies can only fall into two different categories. We got good and bad. And when it's good, obviously that means a thumbs up, bad means thumbs down. Pretty straightforward. But for me, when I rate a movie, I want you to know more than just whether I thought it was good or bad. I want you to know exactly how I felt about that just from the rating. And that's why I use a 5-star rating system. I use a 5-star rating system when I rate movies, and what that means is that I have 11 possible grades that I can give a movie. Anything 3 and above, 3 to 5, that's a thumbs up. Anything 2.5 and below is a thumbs down. Now as you can see, 2.5 is in the middle because those are the movies that I feel are right in the middle where it's not exactly a thumbs up or thumbs down, but for this thing, it is a thumbs down technically. The 10-point rating system is exactly the same as the 5-point rating system. Everything is just doubled though, so anything 6 and above is thumbs up, anything 5 and below is a thumbs down. Now, with this kind of rating system, you can have in between, so 10, you could have a 9.5 or an 8.5, 7.5, whatever. That's just a little bit extra of a rating that you can give. This leads itself to having a lot more ratings in there, but the rating is still the same throughout here. Then you got the letter grade rating system. Again, it's very straightforward. This one has a couple extra ratings in the brackets up here, but it's still exactly the same thing. Anything B minus and above is a thumbs up, C plus and below, thumbs down. These things all relate to each other. Now this is my least favorite one, the 4-star rating system. This is the one that has always been used for like forever. It was movies out of 4 stars. I feel like it's changed recently though, because I feel like this one just does not lend itself to really enough context is the word I'm trying to look for. It just doesn't explain itself very clearly. Like it takes away ratings, you know, so it's a little bit more muddy. And when I hear a 2.5 movie, I feel like that's not very good, but in this rating system, it's actually a thumbs up. But whenever I saw that, I always thought it was a thumbs down. This one is just more confusing for me. I never really liked the way that this was dealt. Here I've put them all together, and this actually took a little bit longer than you would think. I've spent a little bit too much time doing this project. I feel like I'm back in high school. But this is just a chart of all the rating systems put together. It's just simple, and it's pretty straightforward, but you will notice how it says fresh and rotten over here. Well, let me explain that right quick. We're heading into Rotten Tomatoes. Now, first and foremost, I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about Rotten Tomatoes, and the biggest one is Rotten Tomatoes is not one critic. Rotten Tomatoes is not just one person, it's not just one little group of people. Rotten Tomatoes is the entire professional critics. They are the professional critics that are certified. That means that you have to be certified to be on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe someday, hopefully, you know, if this works out, but you have to be certified. You have to be doing it professionally to be on Rotten Tomatoes, to be a critic on there. Now, all that means is that you have an opinion on Rotten Tomatoes, so you get to put your score. So whatever score that you use, it's on there. I'm gonna explain how that works now. On Rotten Tomatoes, a fresh is a grade anything 60 and above. That means if a critic gives a movie a 3 out of a 5, a 6 out of a 10, a B minus or above, that means that their grade goes into the fresh category. What ends up happening is all the critics' scores get put together and then they get put into a percentage. If collectively all of the critics have a high enough score that's 60 or above, the film is rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. If it's 59 or below, it is rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of people think that this is just one person putting this rating for a movie, and they'll be like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't know what they're talking about. Oh, they didn't like this movie that I liked. They gave it a rotten score. The Rotten Tomatoes has a lot of critics that go into it, And it has nothing to do with one single critic. It is collectively what they all thought and their perception of a movie. Now, a lot of times they will have a higher grade for a movie that like you think is pretty bad. The way that this ends up working out is just because a lot of critics gave a movie 3 out of 5, that doesn't mean that all the critics loved the movie. That just means that most critics thought it was a better movie than it was a bad movie. So, you know, it gets a positive rating. But you don't see that. You have to go individually and read through the critics' reviews and not just take it at its face value of, oh, it got an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow, everybody loves this movie. That's not always the case. Sometimes it is. Sometimes everybody loved the movie and they rate it super high and that's why it gets a super high rating. But a lot of times, movies that you love might get a 2.5 star rating, and a lot of critics felt that way, that they didn't hate the movie, but they didn't really love it, and that's why it got a thumbs down, that's why it has a lower score. This happens all the time, and I feel like this is the biggest confusion for a lot of people. The point is, all rating systems are basically the same. They are just tools used to give a face value to your opinion on any sort of movie. People use all different sort of systems, but they're all basically the same. They simply express how much you like or dislike any certain movie. I hope that I explained that well. And well, you know, let me know what you guys think. What is your favorite rating system? Do you like my 5-star ratings of movies? For me, I feel like it is the best way to get my point across through a rating. Anyway, let me know if you agree, if you disagree, please let me know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this completely different video from me. I'll do more of these if you like it. I don't know. This is a problem that a lot of people have been having with rating systems and like what it means. And, you know, even with my rating system, whether or not I really like the movie. I mean, that's what the review's for. So, I mean, really listen to the review and then you'll know whether or not I like the movie. The rating system's just an extra thing. But a lot of people seem confused about it, and the whole Rotten Tomatoes thing I felt like I had to address. Let me know if you want more videos like this. Let me know if I did a good job. Who knows? Man, I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you know, want to see more reviews and weird videos from a guy like me, Tom Waterloo, then please like and share this video. Leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe. And I'll see you guys at the next one.